I call you up in the middle of the night, been bothered by dreams, ain't feeling alright. You give me comfort, say just give it some time. By the end of our talk, I'm feeling just fine. You and I will always know where we belong. This ain't no ordinary love we got going on. I'll pick you up in my 59 Ford. We head on down the...
Hello guys, I'm just starting here tonight for my evening routine. I had to come up with something for summertime. You know, things are so different when your kids are home with you all day, and so I just wanted to share with you my new summer routine. Now, I am going to go ahead and declutter off the dining room table. It is a collect-all. I say that in every video that I share of my dining room. It is just a collect-all, the table is. And I also wanted to share with you the books that I'm currently reading. I am so excited. I am not an avid book reader, but I do like to read romance and mystery, you know, stuff like that. And so those are the books that I'm currently reading that I just shared with you. If you have any books that you are absolutely loving, leave them down in the comments for me. But anyway, we're gonna go move on to the countertop. I had a few bananas that have gone far too ripe for my liking, and so we like to just peel them and store them in the freezer for like smoothies or anything like that. It just makes it a lot easier if you take them out of the peel than freezing them in the peel. I remember my grandma used to always put them in the freezer with the peel on, and they would get like almost black. But she would then, like, you know, thaw them out and everything for like banana bread. Oh, she used to make the best banana bread. But anyway, I'm just kind of wanting to get things tidied up here in the kitchen. It's not quite, it's probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock as I'm starting to do this. We got some pecans. How do you guys pronounce it? I call it a pecan. I know, it's wrong, but that's what I call it. Again, my Midwest accent coming out, I don't know. But anyway, so we got some of the pecans at the farmer's market, and so our youngest daughter hadn't had them, and so I thought I would let her go ahead, even though I just wiped this off, but it's okay. You know, I want them to try different foods and stuff like that, and that was something new that my husband picked up that the kids have never had, so she wanted to try it. But I also needed, I picked the cilantro and romaine up earlier in the day at the grocery store, and we kind of washed out, and then I just kind of let it dry on a towel. And then I wrap it up. This is actually for our guinea pigs. It's not even for us. I don't like cilantro, you guys. Oh my gosh, it is so bad. I cannot stand the smell of it, the taste of it. I can pick it out. I absolutely love Mexican food too, so it's kind of crazy. And I can pick it out in anything that I eat if I forget to say something to the chef at restaurants, you know, or the waiter. But anyway, I just want to go ahead and get this picked up. So basically what I'm doing, to explain kind of my routine, I just go through, clean everything up, you know, kind of declutter everything, put things in its spot, in its place, whatever has been, you know, kind of thrown around or thrown about or misplaced by the kids throughout the day, or even myself throughout the day. I just want to go ahead and get all that cleaned up and decluttered before I get into making dinner.
And maybe Johnson City or Memphis bound, no matter where I go, no matter what I see, I still hear the calling of Tennessee. Who even know where these rivers flow, or why the wind chooses when and where to blow? The sun is gonna rise each and every time, and I've still got Tennessee on my mind.
So I know biscuits and gravy is more of a breakfast meal, But my kiddos have been requesting it for a long time now, and so I thought I would go ahead and answer their request and make them some biscuits and gravy. Now, I do make my biscuits from scratch. It is a super simple recipe. I will leave it down in the description for you guys if you guys are interested in that. But I'm actually in the part that you're seeing here, I doubled the ingredients, but I do end up making a whole another double batch of biscuits. I thought it would be perfect. You know, not only do they just love biscuits and gravy, but I thought it would be perfect since they are home right now for summertime. They can use those biscuits for breakfast, you know, with some jam or jelly or honey, or even so, you know, if there's some lunch meat in the fridge, so they could like make like a little biscuit lunch meat sandwich for lunch, or a snack or something like that. So I wanted to make sure that I had some leftovers for them. That's one of the things I like to do. You know, even during the school year, I do make extra food in that when I'm cooking, so that way, you know, it goes a little farther. It gives me a night or two off during the week. But in the summertime, I like to make a little bit extra, so that way the kiddos have, you know, a good lunch instead of just, you know, a quick meal. Like some pizza rolls or, you know, I don't know, TV dinners or something like that. I would rather them have something, you know, good and homemade, even if it is leftovers, which most of the time they don't seem to mind the leftovers. It really just depends on what it is. I know a few of things are not their favorites that I like, but, you know, just giving them a nice warm meal for dinner, or not for dinner, for lunch, you know, stuff like that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get these biscuits rolled out here. Now, I don't roll them. When you're making biscuits, you want to make sure that you are folding it and giving it layers. That's what makes the crust, you know, the biscuit rise up and make them just nice, fluffy, and layered.
You can do better. I dare you to be wilder. I want to be silly, baby, dance the night away. I'll kick my shoes off if I want. Let yourself be free and maybe you will find that there is more to life than being pretty. Honey, let's just face it. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better, so much better. I don't fit into your box. Beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better. I dare you to be wilder. I don't fit into your box. Beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better. I dare you to be wilder. You can. Baby, let your head down. Be a little.
So for tonight, I did use a cup to just cut the biscuits out. I do have biscuit cutters, but for whatever reason, a cup just works a lot better for me. But I did want to go ahead and let them rest in the fridge, let that butter get nice and cold back up before you bake it. It's another way to just get it so nice, flaky, and moist, and just makes the best biscuits. So after you get your biscuits made, definitely let them rest for a little while back in the fridge. You want that butter nice and cold. So anyway, now that I am all done making the biscuits and they're resting in the fridge, I do want to go ahead and just get everything cleaned up again. I am 100% a clean as you go type person when it comes to cooking. I do not like a huge mess all over the place while I'm cooking. I don't know. It just drives me crazy. So I do clean as I go. You know, I did want to mention too, I love these countertops. Like I'm so glad I initially picked out something that had a little bit more like oranges and browns in it. And I'm so glad that I ended up going with these countertops. But I will tell you what, trying to get those biscuits off the counter, like the extra dough that gets stuck, you know. I was having a hard time seeing it all, so I kind of had to like feel and find where it was at that way. But you know, it is what it is. I guess it's probably one of the only cons that I have about my countertops. But anyway, I'm moving on to just getting these dishes put away. Again, you know, I'm just trying to get everything kind of cleaned up. It's kind of like two birds, one stone. Instead of, you know, putting those in the fridge and going and sitting down on the couch and like surfing the internet or social media, whatever. I just figured might as well get the rest of the kitchen cleaned up and moving while I'm cooking or waiting for those biscuits to be done.
We'd be unbreakable. We could leave this place, stay in bed for days. You'd be my Yoko and I'd be your John. You'd show your secret tattoo. Maybe I'd get one too. You and me can start a whole new chapter. Oh, when you smile at me, I can feel the whole world turning. Oh girl, you're one of a kind. I just can't get you off my mind. And baby, we'd be unshakable. You and me would fit so fine. Just tell me how to make you mine. And girl, we'd be unbreakable.
It is time to pull the biscuits back out of the fridge. We're gonna go ahead and start making the gravy at this time. Now, I'm gonna share how I make my gravy, and I'm gonna share with you two secret, quote unquote, secret ingredients. Now, I actually learned about these ingredients, oh gosh, years ago, and I will never make biscuits and gravy without them at this point. It just adds extra flavor. But anyway, we're just gonna start with some breakfast sausage. Now, y'all have to let me know. I feel like when I was younger, my grandma would mix ground beef and breakfast sausage, and I don't know if that was just to make it go farther. Maybe one was more expensive than the other, I don't know. But I personally only use breakfast sausage. I know people don't use anything at all, but you know, totally up to you on how you make this. But this is how I do it. So I brown up the breakfast sausage, and then I like to add some sort of fat, whether that is bacon grease or butter. I need to work on saving my own bacon grease, but I love this Bacon Up. I actually get it at Buc-ee's of all places. Yes, the little Texas Beaver grocery, or not grocery store, oh my gosh, it seems like a grocery store, but gas station. But anyway, I actually love using it on my Blackstone, to be honest. This is the first time I've ever put it in my biscuits and gravy, and it turned out, it just gave that extra layer of flavor. It was so good. Unfortunately, I am not good at measuring when it comes to gravy. I just do what feels right, and it usually turns out just fine. So we're just gonna go ahead, melt that grease down and get it all, and then add in the flour. Now, what I do as far as measuring with flour, I just kind of, like I said, do whatever feels good. But basically, I'm just kind of covering over the sausage. I cannot think of what that was called for the life of me there. I just cover the sausage, and then it soaks up enough of that, and then it soaks up all the grease, and that seems to be enough. So I did want to set this aside because I didn't want it to burn while I was pulling these biscuits out. When you do take your biscuits out, you want to make sure that you take them right off the pan, because otherwise they will continue to cook, and you don't want to overcook your biscuits. You don't want them to be dry. So anyway, I am just adding some milk. Now, we use skim milk around here, skim fat-free milk. You can use whatever your heart desires. I feel like my grandma would use like a mixture of like half and half in milk. But again, I don't keep that stuff on hand. I am just using what I have on hand, which is just regular fat-free milk, and it turns out just fine. But we're gonna go ahead and cook this until it gets, until it starts to thicken, and then we'll go ahead and season it.
We'll be long gone, hang on, I cannot go wrong.
So of course you have to add salt and pepper into your gravy. The bacon grease and the sausage do have some saltiness on their own, but I do like to put in just a little bit more. Now here are my secret ingredients: ground cumin and red pepper. So I just sprinkle in some cumin, and then I do like a big pinch of red pepper flake. It just gives that added flavor. If you have not added this to your gravy, your sausage gravy yet, try it. I promise you it is a game changer. And like I said, I've been doing it that way for years, and I just absolutely love it. My kids love my biscuits and gravy. Obviously, like I said, they've been begging for it for a while. Oh look, the nice fluffy biscuit. See those layers when you're folding that? It just makes those nice layers on the biscuits. But anyway, I did want to I got it a little bit too thick for my liking, so I did just add a little bit more milk to thin it out a little bit. Ignore my kiddos in the back. I don't know what they're doing. They got on like this little tangent while I was making the plate. It was so funny. I'm like, you guys do know that I'm filming right now, right? And I think they were like talking about armpits or something. Oh my gosh. Life with kids, you guys. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and finish making up the plates and get all the biscuits and gravy, and then we're going to enjoy dinner. And then we'll finish up getting this kitchen evening routine going.
In the sky, there's a cloud drifting by. All kinds of birds make you wish you could fly. And in the distance I see someone waving at me. I hope that it's you, but who else could it be?
So now that dinner has been enjoyed, it is time to clean it up. Also, okay, so I have to know, growing up, my grandma called dinner is your noon meal. Like lunch, it's your noon meal. And then supper was your evening meal. But I grew up in the city, y'all. Like, I was raised by farm people, Iowa farm people at that. But I was raised in the city of, in the big city in Omaha, Nebraska. And so, we call the evening meal dinner. But my grandma always called it supper. So I remember being a little kid and just giving her the hardest time of that. And she would get so frustrated because she wouldn't understand what I was saying. Oh, the memories, you guys. Oh my gosh. I feel like that's one of the things, baking from scratch. It reminds me of my grandma. We're not going to get emotional. But it does. It just reminds me of her and all the things, growing up with her and her sharing like all her baking and cooking wisdom. And yeah, it's just a lot. But anyway, we're just going to continue up getting things cleaned up. I put all the leftovers away. And don't you worry. I know you saw me put those biscuits in the microwave. I did end up putting them in the fridge for the night. They last, I think, probably like a week or so in the fridge. They won't last that long here, but if you're wondering for your own sake, I think they last about a week or so in the fridge. But anyway, I do want to go ahead and just get everything finished cleaning up. I cannot go to bed with a dirty kitchen. It's just not going to happen. I know some people are like, whatever, we'll wait until the morning to clean it up, but I am just not one of those people. I guess it's just a product of my raising that you just get it cleaned up at night and get it all taken care of that way. So we're just going to go ahead, tackle it. Part of it, another, I guess, not only do I just can't do it. Going to bed with dirty kitchen or whatever, it just doesn't feel right. But also I am terrified of getting bugs, like legit terrified. When I was like fresh out of high school, I stayed with a family, and they had like a big roach issue. And then the first house that I moved to on my own, after I moved on from those people, It also had roaches. It was a rental property, and the guy before us, like, apparently it was just a big issue. And so we called, like, the exterminator, had everything taken care of, and ever since then, I am just terrified. Terrified of getting roaches. So I, you know, if I can make sure that things are cleaned up, and just put away, you know, that will help prevent them. Especially here in Florida, I feel like bugs are just more apt to come around. You know, there's no freeze that freezes them like there is back home in the Midwest. Not that they freeze in your house, but y'all know where I'm going. You get it. I don't know if that's just me, but it's just how I feel. I don't like bugs. I don't want them in my house. I've heard horror stories of things like crawling in your ears, and yeah, so we do what we can to prevent the bugs around here. That's what I'm trying to say.
Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this true. Baby, you just make me feel crazy. A little crazy for you. I feel crazy. A little crazy for you, baby. Yeah, yeah. Little crazy for you now.
Once all the dishes and stuff are done, I'm going to go ahead and wipe down the counters again for a final time. For the counters, I honestly just use a mixture of Pine Sol and water. I got that idea from Living with Cambria. I love watching her channel. If you guys don't know who she is, definitely go check her out. She is just, I've learned so much from her. So anyway, that's all I'm going to use to wipe down the counters. Another bug deterrent, yes. But anyway, and then after that, I'm going to go ahead and just use my wet vac on the floor. Now, you guys, I have the Bissell wet vac. It is probably like the original, I don't know, wet vac on the market. I don't even know. I just know it's corded, and I would really love to get a cordless wet vac, or one, like, there's a Shark one that I would really like, or even one that cleans itself. That would be absolutely amazing, because let me tell you what, cleaning the wet vac kind of is not so fun. But anyway, it's super easy to use. It's a great tool, especially for just like evening cleaning, just like a daily cleaning, instead of having to, you know, pull out the big old mop and bucket every single night. Just using the wet vac just makes things so much easier. But anyway, guys, we're just going to go ahead and finish up by cleaning up the floors. I hope that this video was helpful for you, whether motivational or giving you some ideas on, you know, some homemade biscuits and gravy. But anyway, if it is, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. Come along and join my YouTube family. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. We do have a lot more motivation coming up, and I hope you guys will stick around. I hope everyone stays happy, healthy, and safe, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.